McLaren, Casey.
After an electrifying debut at Silverstone International, where rookie driver Nick Casey and seasoned racer Adriano Medeiros took on their very first race together, Box3 Motorsport now returns to tackle a far greater challenge, the full 3.6-mile Silverstone Grand Prix circuit, home to British racing legends. In round 1, the team competed in 2 demanding 45-minute endurance races on the shorter 1.85-mile international circuit. The grid featured a thrilling mix of 3 classes: the Challenge class, GT class and the Ginetta Cup, where Box3 entered the race with their Ginetta G55 Super Cup car. Despite fierce on-track battles that ran right to the checkered flag, Box3 delivered a strong performance, collecting 45 championship points in their very first outing. Back in the Box3 team is Datum Motorsport, a seasoned crew of professional race engineers whose technical expertise is crucial in helping the team extract every ounce of performance from the car. Under the guidance of Datum and the lead instructor Adriano, the focus is now squarely on honing Nick's racecraft and building a solid foundation for what promises to be an exciting future in motorsport. For Nick and Box3, this isn't just a race weekend, it's the beginning of a much bigger journey. Round 2 raises the stakes as the Dutch Supercar Championship shares the track with Britcar, bringing the total car count to 65. Although they raced in a separate class, their presence added to the scale and spectacle of the event. With such a busy schedule, teams were no longer based in the paddock but instead lined up behind Silverstone's iconic pit garages, amplifying and intensifying the atmosphere.
We need to make sure we are ready for the briefing 8 o'clock. We need to go to the tower there.
I need my license.
Yeah, I need your license. Morning, guys.
Have you got your license on you?
No, it's on my phone.
Have you got a license on your phone?
Yes.
Well, that's clever, isn't it?
Oh, it's because it's an Android, it's not an Apple. We have a little bit banter between Apple and Android. He loves his Apple. And he doesn't like the fact that I've got an Android.
An Android guy.
Really good morning, really looking forward to it. So cannot wait. The GP circuit is an amazing circuit in UK. It's one of the best, really fast flow. It's going to be amazing. Lots of cars on the grid.
So what is the plan for today? What's the sort of time scale?
So we do need to have a briefing 8 o'clock in the morning, 8:30 in the morning. And after that we're going to have our qualifying, in which I'm not, because I'm a pro driver, my laps doesn't count. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to go out, warm up the tires, scrub the tires, and then let Nick do the qualifying. And then after that we've got a 90 minutes race this time. This time is going to be a longer race. The strategy is going to be slightly different. There are 2 pit stops on this race. We have a 20-second penalty in each pit stop because we've got a pro driver in the pairing, which happened in one of the cars in our category as well, because there's a really good driver in our category this year, this race. It will be very interesting. I'm really looking forward to today.
Before we get into it, if you're enjoying the behind the scenes look into grassroots motorsport and Box3's journey, do us a favour, hit the like button and subscribe. It really helps the channel and lets us bring more content like this to you. Thank you so much. With Adriano taking the wheel for the first opening practice session, he uses the first few laps to scrub in the tyres and bring the Ginetta up to temperature. Meanwhile, the rest of the Box3 crew make their way to the pit lane, calm, focused and ready. With only 10 minutes of practice and 10 minutes to qualify, every second counts. The pit lane is a hive of controlled chaos. Tyres are swapped, strategies refined, and last minute setup tweaks made in real time. There's no room for hesitation. It's all about precision, timing, getting everything dialed in before the clock runs out. With just a few minutes remaining in the qualifying session, Adriano dives into the pit for a driver change. Nick Casey climbs into the Ginetta and heads out, aiming to set the team's final flying lap. The handover is seamless, but just a few laps in, Nick finds himself caught behind a slow BMW. Despite pushing hard, the traffic holds him up, killing momentum and ultimately costing him the chance to improve his qualifying time.
Can one of my engineers come over? It's not coming out.
Yeah, it's fine.
He's not taking racing line. He's pushing me off track. He's going slowly round the loop. I've gone round the outside and he's just pushed me off onto the grass. No reason for it.
Okay, we
Changing direction under braking.
Okay, we get the footage, right? And
Hopefully we've got proof, you know, we can see
we
it
get the
in
footage,
videos.
and then once we've got the
Completely
footage,
and
Done with that GoPro. We can have a look at the footage.
nip in front of you, right on the corner, and then park on the apex.
Yeah. Let's take a look before we say anything.
yeah.
And then
Honestly, don't f***ing overtake me and then park it on the apex.
Ah, so tell me.
see what
Honestly, are we allowed to leave?
you can go. We'll sort this out, mate.
Someone just mess about with Nick on the qualifying and push him off the track unnecessarily. They were not even on the same class.
Not the same
Yeah.
class. Not even.
Maybe not even on the same championship,
They're the
because
same
we've got two
championship.
championships racing
guys.
together. At least we do have the V-Box footage. We can look. We need to figure out two things. We need to figure out that and speak with the clerk of the course, and then we need to figure out the track limits, where that was, to make sure we don't do that on the race.
Yeah.
Okay.
I got no idea where the track limits was.
We were excited with the lap times you were doing.
Hey, I could have gone faster.
And
Could have gone faster.
how do you feel you could go faster? Could you lean on the car more around
So
corners?
much more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's good. We started getting a good understanding of how much.
Traffic, leaning, understanding. Fuck me, new rubber. Oh my god! You think it's gonna go, but it's there anyway. Oh god, that was good actually, because thinking, the arse is going out. It's like, well, it is, but it isn't going anywhere at the same time.
Yeah, we're gonna talk more about lateral G. We're gonna put that on the data, and we're gonna talk a little bit about that. So
Yeah.
we are pushing those boundaries, and then we're getting better and better. That's good. So the race will be good again because.
Felt like I was really held up by the Team Brit BMW. They were racing me versus doing quali laps, and they were weaving and pushing me off track. Which was, I was faster than them. It was completely unnecessary for them to behave like that, in my mind. We'll see. We're gonna look at some data and we'll see what's what. But frustrating, because I've got a feeling that was part of why I got my fastest lap deleted, which would have put us P1. So now we're P2. Let's see what the data says, and frustrations. I was a bit more angry earlier on. I'm calming down a little bit now. The language on the radio was a little bit colourful. Qualifying is so quick. I need to speak to Sam actually. I need to really know like where I am on how many laps I've got left. Because he was like, oh, we're going into quali now, and then quali's over. See, I see the checkered flag. Getting held up by the Porsches and the things in quali. The laps before quali were all clear.
From go-karts to Formula 1, you're never just racing against the clock or your own limits, you're battling the grid. Every driver, every team is pushing the edge, and in Britcar, the intensity is no different. For Box3 Motorsport, the on-track rivalry with the BMW Britcar is real, fierce, but always respectful. Yet their true benchmark comes from within the same garage. Their closest and most consistent rival is another Datum Motorsport Ginetta, driven by the talented pairing of Marco Anastasi and Maurizio Siglio. After the opening round, Marco and Maurizio led the class standings with 90 points. Just behind them, Casey and Adriano Medeiros sit on 81 points. A mere 9 points gap separating the two cars, a razor-thin margin in endurance racing terms. While they share a garage and a datasheet and engineers, make no mistake, each crew is pushing to come out on top. It's a friendly rivalry, but one laced with intensity.
How did race start go? Race start was shit show. So we went round to the assembly area, sat there for a while, and then off you go out. You do your green flag lap, and then you do your rolling start. And immediately I noticed that the car is in what's essentially a limp mode. I didn't know whether it was the brakes that were stuck on, or because that's what we had in earlier on in the day, or was it? I had no idea what the issue was. And I'm on the radio to the guys, but as soon as you get out the back of the track, the radio comms are not very good. I think they can hear me, but I can't. I don't get any comms from them, so I'm screaming and shouting obscenities, trying to really look up what the X is going on with the car, because everyone then basically starts overtaking me. Get around by Maggots and Beckett's and everyone's like, oh right, he's actually got car troubles, so they all start overtaking me. So I'm losing track position and I'm thinking to myself, I've got to try and do something here, what can I do? So I just start pressing everything. Luckily I've got my contact lens in so I can see what's just here, and I read the switch and it says push down for XYZ. I was like, huh. Flick that up, off we go! Back on the radio, boys, I found it, we're off, we're good. But that all happened at green light. By which... How many places did you drop back? A lot. Like, right, I think I had maybe 2 cars behind me. We'll look at the video footage, but I was a really long way back. So, I then had a lot of making up to. Which was, don't get me wrong, super fun. Charging my way through the pack. And even when I was doing it, I was thinking for the spectators, because through all down the side, down by escapades and everything like that, was where all the overtaking was happening.
Out of Buffy. Straight forward they go. The Toro Verde GT Porsche on pole position. FF Courses Ferrari alongside with Porsche or Ferrari lead into Cox Corner. It's time to find out then the Britcar Endurance Championship round on the Silverstone Grand Prix circuit. About to get underway. They're in pretty good formation for now. No indication further back. The green flag flies, and away we go. The FF Corsa car on the which was looking for a route through on the inside line. Fingers crossed they all get cleanly through comps. It looks as though they have.
We had some really good lap times, so hopefully I managed to put into place everything that Adriano had been drilling into me throughout the morning. And Adriano, then we did the pit stop, not without its issues. Fuel didn't go in correctly, so that was a bit of a cock up. But added stress for sure. And then Adriano had to go out and do his superhero stuff, which I think he did. I think yet again, he's gone out and done an amazing job closing the gap down between us and the others. in for the pit stop. He's done a cracking job. In he comes. Pit stop for me. Pit stop went actually quite smoothly as far as I can remember. Push out, off we go, safety car. And I don't know how many laps it was, but most of my second stint was safety car. I think I did 5 laps out of safety car. And then we got caught out really badly. So Marco and Maurizio got the good side of the safety car. They managed to come in and pit on the safety car. We got the tail end of the safety car, so whilst I had lovely track position, so I came out P2 behind the lead Porsche, but actually that meant I was a lap down. So, and because we did loads of laps, instead of chasing down the back of the pack, and I could have been sat right behind those guys because they were right on the back of the pack, I was sat at the front with the whole, minus a lap. But that also meant I had clear air going out. I wasn't battling with the pack, and it was fantastic to go out and do the 5 or 6 laps that were available to me at the end. Just frustrating. I hope the guy that got caught on fire and everything's okay. Because you don't when you're in the car, you don't know what's going on. Nobody really knows what's going on. They kind of the circuit kind of keep it between themselves, and you end up just sat there, none the wiser, and then all of a sudden the lights are out, safety car goes in, and off you go again.
SSD in the Dutch Supercar Challenge as well, between
yes.
the 202 and 207, the DeBorsts versus the Van Riets in there. Well, the 202 is the Hyundai and the 207 is the Golf. They're the 2 TCR cars in the Dutch Supercar Challenge. They're going to tail in the queue as well for a class victory. I think they're the 2 closest of the classes on track, and they don't happen to be within the Dutch Supercar Challenge element of the race. That, though, is Steve Gambrell. His job is simple now. Just don't put a foot wrong. 3 laps at the Silverstone Grand Prix circuit, clear air ahead of him, and no one realistically within striking range, at least for class position, should come home a race winner. He's accelerating away through Woodcote Corner, left it quite late in the end. Off he goes. There's a bit of a gap developing. And it is Conor Brait that exits the final corner, and a second victory from 2 races in 2025 for Toro Verde GT. Steve Gambrell and Dan Lloyd claim the victory on the Silverstone Grand Prix circuit, and within the Dutch Supercar Challenge, and indeed second overall in the race, is going to be the number 118 machine, having started third. John de Wilde doing the whole 90 minutes by himself in the Speedler of Porsche. Stasi and Lucia Silvio, the Datum Motorsport car. TCR, as we covered, was
We did everything we could.
So yeah, definitely sounded.
We had good pace.
Unfortunately, everything worked against us. Huh? Yeah, I do that.
Oh, frustrating.
That's racing, unfortunately. It's hard to swallow.
Last time the emotion was higher in my first race. This race there was more. I was able to concentrate more on my duties this time, if you know what I mean. More about all the instruction that we've taken on board and utilising the good pace that we found in quali, and all that was much more front of mind than previously. But then the emotion that came when after I finished my first stint was big. I really enjoyed that first stint. It was so good. The rubber was good. The car was good. The charge through the pack was good.
Yeah.
And it kind of gave you confidence in yourself and in the car. It was really good exploration. And then forces majeure were against us today, but
Yeah, we were a little bit unlucky today, but it was nice to see how you came out of the car after quali, because the words you were saying was all the right words. You knew you could go faster. You even improve your lap times during the race, which is a very hard thing to do. And every time you go in the car, you're making steps towards what we should be doing, which is really good. And like you said, your second stint should be a really good stint. We were so unlucky with the safety car, unfortunately. But look, it's very promising to see how things are moving, and that's more and more you're gonna get used to the race weekend, and then you're gonna improve your driving better because you're gonna get information. You're not so excited by the first race ever. You get into the rhythm of things, and we're gonna be able to talk as we spoke after quali, being able to look at the data
and process it more, because it's less emotion and more passion. It's more details driven, and that makes it easier to deliver on it.
It is. We're never gonna be really calm. The race weekend is always a race weekend. It's always pump it up. I've been doing this for 20 years, and you saw how it was before I get in the car.
Pacing up and down and pumped, ready to go.
Yeah,
you didn't like to be frustrated by the seat pad.
Yeah, exactly. So there will be a degree of a little bit tension always, but we need to keep calm and keep on learning as much as you can every session. But you did an amazing job in quali. You did an amazing job on your first stint, as you just described.
And you slayed it out there, man.
Thank you.
My God. You were just reeling them in like you were out fishing for the day.
It was a good stint. I enjoyed driving it.
Did you manage to explore the car a bit more today?
Oh, much more. It's a shame the tires were on their last legs.
Yeah, sorry about that.
And it's okay, no problem. That's
I did my best to take it out of them.
You know what? I had some really good side this moment, and it was fun.
They weren't that bad when I handed them over.
Well, I was talking to the guys from tires, and they were saying the tires should last for an hour. So it's
you can definitely feel the drop off.
Yeah, I was on the radio straight away telling, because how much I was having to correct the high-speed corners on the entrance was incredible. You went in right on the edge, and the car is so loose, and you have to work it on it quite well.
Yeah, there's a lot of corrections going on.
I'm quite pleased with the lap time that I've done on the race pace. I think the team has done a great job to put me on a window that gives me some clear track.
It was really good. You had 34 seconds of open, clear air in front of you.
It was really good.
How did you sum up the day?
Fantastic. Really good. We delivered on everything that we set out to do today.
Exactly.
Race strategy delivered.
Spot on.
Yeah.
Very productive, I would say. We learned a lot, and we made an improvement, a good amount of improvement. And that's the reason why we're doing this, and that's what Box 3 is all about.
Snetterton in about a month's time. Never been before. Screen track to me. Unlike here, where I've done quite a few test days and track days, and this is where a lot of Box 3. This is Box 3's home, if you like. So we're here a lot. I know it pretty well. Snetterton going to need to do quite a bit of sim action and get some test and track days booked in. Mate, good job today.
Okay,
Well done.
Awesome.
Well done.
Thanks, mate.
2% battery then, that's right.
Right. Just go and say hello to my crew of all the
And that wraps up another thrilling chapter in Box3 Motorsport's journey. A race weekend filled with challenges, rivalries and hard-earned points, but the battle is far from over. Next stop, Snetterton, where a pair of 45-minute endurance races awaits. The team will be back pushing harder than ever to close the gap and climb the championship ladder. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, drop a comment below and don't forget to subscribe to follow the rest of the season. Thanks for watching, I'll see you at Snetterton.